Everyone, in this video I'm going to explain about continuation of Prelims 2021. So let's get started. 21st question: water can dissolve many more substances than any other liquid because water is dipolar in nature. Di means two, polar means opposite. Dipolar means opposite sequences. Sequences means arrangement. Dipolar means opposite arrangement of oxygen and hydrogen atoms. Here in water, oxygen indicates negative electrical charge. Okay, negative electrical charge, and hydrogen indicates positive electrical charge. And this oxygen and hydrogen atoms allows water molecules to be fascinated to different types of molecules. Atoms are small and tiny particles which are invisible. And what is molecule here actually? So molecule means nothing but combination of two or more than two atoms. Molecular form of hydrogen is H plus H, that is H2, like this. Two or more than two atoms. So here H plus H, one H is added no. And when these molecules are called compounds means whenever these molecules get stored at room temperature of 25 degrees in a solid state. Okay, whenever these molecules are compounds means these molecules when they get stored at room temperature at 25 degrees in a solid state. An example for molecular compound, that is salt. The chemical formula for salt is sodium chloride, NaCl, and water gets heavily attracted to sodium chloride, that is NaCl. And in what procedure water dissolves sodium chloride, NaCl? So firstly, water splits whatever the attracted forces are there for sodium chloride and holds that sodium chloride, then gets dissolves. And water is also called universal solvent because water has much more capable of dissolving many substances than any other liquid. For each and every living thing existing on earth, water is very important. Through water, the process we consume water through air, through ground, through body, etc. It collects valuable chemicals, nutrients and minerals. Means through whatever the process it doesn't matter, but whatever the process we consume the water inside, through air or through body or through ground, etc., it collects valuable chemicals plus nutrients and minerals. Coming to 22nd question, with reference to street lighting. See, street lights means, always do remember, street lights means sodium lamps. With reference to the street lighting, how sodium lamps differ from LED lamps. The comparison is based on many things. So firstly we see based on degrees. So sodium lamps produces 360 degrees light. LED lamps contains 180 degrees bulb angle for storing light ability and allowing for the light target over years. And based on lifespan, LED lamps has a very larger lifespan, that is more than sodium lamps, and sodium lamps, that is street lights, have shorter lifespan than LED lamps. A lifespan of LED ranges from 25,000 to 2 lakh hours. Sodium lamps has very high pressure and contains lifespan of averaging 24,000 hours. Basis of spectrum and color. A beautiful group of colors and lights. Spectrum means beautiful group of colors and lights. Basis on spectrum and color, what is the difference between sodium lamps to LED lamps means, sodium lamps are monochromatic in nature. Monochromatic means containing only single color, one color, because sodium lamps recognized for their warm yellow glow. Sodium lamps are having color of warm yellow glow, and LEDs offer variety of color options that provide better lighting solutions than high pressure sodium lamps equivalent. Okay. 23rd question. The term ACE2, that is converting enzyme 2, angiotensin converting enzyme 2, is talked about the context of spreading of viral diseases. So this ACE2 angiotensin converting enzyme 2 is a protein on many cell types. A larger protein called angiotensinogen, by cutting up this larger protein, ACE2 enzyme generates smaller proteins. And after cutting up of a larger protein called angiotensinogen, then ACE2 usually moves on to regulate functions in the cell. Here, SARS-CoV-2 virus binds to ACE2 by using spike-like protein on its surface, and that was same like key being inserted into lock, which was prior entry and as well as infection to cells. This ACE2 acts as a doorway for the viruses which is causing COVID-19. Coming to 24th question, bisphenol A, that is BPA, is a cause of concern and is structural or key component in the manufacture of polycarbonate kinds of plastics. Bisphenol A is the chemical, BPA is a chemical, and polycarbonate is used in manufacturing of hard plastic items such as baby bottles, reusable water bottles, food containers, glass jars, pitchers. Glass jars means pitchers here, and tableware and other storage containers, etc. In manufacturing of epoxy resins, BPA is used. Epoxy resin linings coats inside of food cans, bottle tops and water supply pipes, etc. of all these metal products. Purpose of epoxy linings: keeping the can material, here can material means the water can, keeping the can material clean from the corroding. Corroding means becoming weak or destroyed means damaged or destroyed by chemical actions or from reacting with the food. In polycarbonate plastics and epoxy resins, small amount of bisphenol A may remain, and these BPA later gets released into foods and beverages. Items which appear to be the main exposure of BPA. So liquids stored or liquids heated in polycarbonate containers, canned foods and epoxy lined cans. Research studies have reported associations that high exposure of BPA leads to the causes of health effects such as diabetes and heart diseases. Moving to next question, that is 25th, triclosan. Triclosan considered harmful when exposed to high level for a long time. Is most likely present in toiletries. To reduce the prevention of bacterial contamination means pollution, unclean. Triclosan acts as an ingredient to many consumer products such as antibacterial soaps, cosmetics, toothpastes and body washes. Some studies have argued that there is possibility occurs while exposing to triclosan, which contributes in making bacteria disagree to antibiotics. And some animal studies have also shown exposure to high doses of triclosan leads to decreasing of some thyroid hormone levels. 26th question, which one of the following is the reason for why astronomical distances are measured in light years? So for that, the reason is because speed of light is always same. Speed of light is always constant, and it is known to high precision. Precision means exactness. Measuring of distances in space is called light year. Do remember this, very important. Measuring of distances in space is called light year. Light travels at 1079252849 km per hour in vacuum. For calculating the distance of a light year, the above speed should be multiplied by number of hours in a year. This speed divided by 8766, then the result is equal to 1 light year. By dividing this by this, then we will be getting 9.5 trillion kilometers, and that is the value of 1 light year. And at very first glance, this distance may seem extreme, but enormous scale of universe dwarfs this length. Dwarfs means shorts this length, and light takes time to travel through our eyes because everything we view in the night sky has already happened. And this is also most important point. Light takes time to travel through our eyes because everything we view in the night sky has already happened. If we observe one light year away, we see as it appeared exactly 1 year ago. Moving to next question, 27. We adopted parliamentary democracy based on British model. How does Indian model differ from British model? Parliamentary sovereignty means supreme power, high authority is a principle of UK Constitution. Parliamentary sovereignty is a principle of UK Constitution, United Kingdom. In UK, the Parliament can create or end any laws, and in UK, courts cannot overrule legislations. Indian Parliament is not a sovereignty body, not supreme power body like the British Parliament. In Indian Parliament, it cannot amend those provisions which forms the basic structure of the constitution. See why Indian Parliament is not a sovereignty body means it cannot amend those provisions which forms the basic structure of the constitution. That's why it is not a sovereign body. And this was set in Supreme Court case of Kesavananda Bharati 1973, which is very important case. And in India, the constitution bench by Supreme Court refers to the matters pertaining to the constitutionality of Amendment of Parliament Act. And what is constitution bench means? Constitution bench is nothing but the panel of 5 or more judges of Supreme Court, and these constitution benches are not routine occurrence, okay, not routine phenomena. When these constitutional benches are set up, whenever the cases involves substantial, that is large question of law pertaining to interpretation of constitution, whenever the case involves substantial large question of law pertaining to interpretation of constitution, then that time these constitutional benches are set up. Article 145 clause 3, this mandates that interpretation of the constitution matters be heard by a bench of not less than 5 judges. Presently, constitution benches are set up by ad hoc basis when the need arises. What is the idea behind constitution bench? Setting up of constitution bench to decide important questions of legal fact and to decide constitutional interpretation. So this is the idea behind setting up of constitutional bench. One is to decide important questions of legal fact and other is to decide constitutional interpretation. 28th question. With reference to union government, N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar in 1950, in his report of reorganization of machinery of central government, has recommended for working of operating and maintenance division, improvement in capabilities of personnel, grouping of ministries. And in 1970, on Administrative Reforms Commission basis, the Department of Personnel set up the Cabinet Secretariat, which was placed under PM's office. It is nowhere mentioned that ministers and secretary is designed solely for pursuing subject of administrative reforms and promoting it. 29th question. Right to privacy is protected under Article 21 of Indian Constitution. Article 21, the 9-judge Constitutional Bench of Supreme Court in Justice K.S. Puttaswamy retired and ANR versus Union of India and ORS 2017 has ruled that individual privacy is intrinsic to life and liberty, an inherent part of the fundamental rights was enshrined in this article. So in Article 21. And what are the features of right to privacy? So right to privacy includes the preservation of personal intimacies and sanctity of family life and marriage procreation, home and sexual orientation. And privacy connotes the right to be left alone and also safeguards individual autonomy and recognizes one's ability to control vital aspects of one's life. Informational privacy is a facet of this right, and dangers of this right can originate from both state and non-state actors. Moving to next question, that is 30th question. Representation of People Act 1951 is an act of Parliament of India to provide for the election conducting the Houses of Parliament or Houses of Legislature of each state. In the year 1996, this act was amended, which restricted to number of seats. Only one candidate would contest in one election to two constituencies, and whenever such candidate wants more than one, the candidate here have retained only one, forcing bypolls in the rest. And there is no mandatory provisions that one candidate in Lok Sabha elections from many constituencies, then his or her party should bear the cost of by-elections to the constituencies vacated by him or her in winning of him or her in all constituencies. And in each and every case, the Election Commission of India bears the cost of elections or by-elections in all the constituencies of Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. Means in each and every case, the Election Commission of India itself bears cost of elections and as well as cost of by-elections in all the constituencies of Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. So these are about 21 to 30 questions of Prelims 2021. Thank you.